Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. In this video we're going to be working on a really simple project, and as you can see here we are doing a granny square crop sweater. So it's very nice. As you can see it on me, it's something that is really fast to work up. I am starting to become a little bit obsessed with the granny stitch, so I'm beginning to make a lot of things using this stitch here. As you can see on the channel, I have a lot of sweaters using this stitch. But yeah, it's absolutely awesome. I have these colors that I put together here. You can obviously substitute this with any other colors that you want. I will explain how you get the sizing and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, but this is what we're gonna be working on. Before you go any further, make sure you subscribe, comment, and like the video. You can also wait to do that at the end just to make sure you actually like the video. But yeah, that's what we're going to be working on. Thank you again. Let's see you in the next clip. Okay, my lovelies, so before we start, I'm going to show you all the materials that we're using for this project today. So I have this combination of colors here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be using. You can obviously use any colors of your choice. You can use one solid color or two colors or three or four or however many you want. So I'm just going to be showing you what I'm using, and you can substitute your own colors or your own amount of yarn or different colors of yarn. Okay, so I have this here by Azurite. It's 100% acrylic. It's navy blue. Okay, as you can see here. It's a lightweight number 3. This company goes by color number, which is 3090, and recommended hook size is 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook, and you get 50 grams or 140 meters approximately per skein like this. Okay, so I don't know how much I'm gonna use, so I'll be able to tell you at the end how many of each color that I use. I will also put in the description box below. Okay, and then this is here We Heart Yarn by Hobby. I've had these I bought a whole bunch of them back in the day. I've done multiple projects with it. I still have a ton. So this is what I'm using for them here. It's the exact same type of yarn, so even though they're from two different companies, they're actually not that different. It's the same size and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so but this is We Have Yarn by Hobby, and it's 100% acrylic. Also, it's 50 grams for these here, or 150 meters. Okay, so a little bit, I guess, longer than this one here. Okay, so this is what we're using here, and I'm gonna be using the same hook, but this one here is recommended hook size is 4 to 5 millimeters crochet hook. Okay, and then we have another Azurite. So it's the same as this, is just a different label. Sometimes they change the label a tiny bit like this, but this is Azurite by Timids. All the information is the same except this color number here is 0211. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just call it navy blue, I guess like baby blue, and then off-white. So these are the colors I'm using. For a crochet hook size, I'm actually using one a little bit larger. I'm using a 5 millimeter crochet hook, or H8, and that's the reason for that is when I do the granny stitch, I prefer that my stitches are a little bit on the loose side. Okay, so you can either use what is recommended, or you can use whatever hook you think you're gonna be comfortable with. I have a darning needle here to join our panels. I have my scissors here to be able to cut my strands. I have some stitch markers. You can either use stitch markers or just yarn to be able to mark where you need to do something, especially when we start to join. You want to be able to know where to join. So you're going to use stitch markers. And then, of course, we have a tape measure that we can use to measure the size of what we're making. Okay, so this is everything that we have here. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovelies, so I have prepared my yarn here. So I'm starting off with the off-white color. So the order of the colors is how I had it on the table. I'm gonna start with the off-white, and then I'm gonna go to the light blue, and then I'm gonna go to the dark blue, which is the navy blue. Okay, so I have my off-white prepared here on my finger. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by doing a magic circle, because we're doing a granny square. So we're gonna do a magic circle first. So this is how I do it. I'm gonna put my hook into the center here. I'm gonna yarn over and bring it through like I'm doing a slip stitch almost, or like a chain one almost. I don't know how you call this, but you bring it in like this. And now, as you can see, I'm holding my circle here open with my fingers, and I'll just put it like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a chain of 2. So 1, 2. This chain of 2 here counts as a stitch, and it counts as a double crochet. Okay, and then as I'm still holding the circle open here, I'm gonna yarn over, go into the circle and complete a double crochet. Okay, so just like this. So now I have 2 stitches because my first stitch here is from the chain 2, and now I have my double crochet that makes it the second stitch. Then I'm gonna go into the center again and do my 3rd double crochet. So now I have 3 double crochets lumped up together here. Okay, then I'm gonna chain 1, and I'm gonna do another 3 double crochets into the magic circle. And as you can see, I take the string along with it. I don't leave it like this. I don't leave it back like this. I bring it along. Okay, so just make sure you do it like that. I realize that it makes it steady and doesn't make it come apart. So I'm gonna do 3 double crochets here. So that's 2 and 3. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm gonna do 3 more double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. So that makes it 3 lumps here of the 3 double crochets. I'm going to do 1 more to make it 4 because we need to create a square. Okay, so chain 1 and then do 3 more double crochets into the magic circle. Okay, so 2 and 3. All right, so now that I have my 4 sets of 3 double crochets here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to pull this. So the string that we've been bringing along, I'm just going to pull it, and that makes the circle close up like this. Okay, and now I need to complete this circle here. So I'm going to chain 1, and then on top of this chain 2, so chain 1, 2, I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch on top of that chain 2, just like this. Okay, so that makes the first row or the first round finished. And then I'm going to chain 2. So always in this project we chain 2, and the chain 2 counts as a double crochet. And then I'm going to go ahead into the chain 1 space here. It's a tiny bit to the right of the chain 2, but it's okay. Just this gap here, we're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochets into that gap, and this is the chain 1 gap. Okay, so because my chain 2 from the beginning counts as a double crochet, I just do 2 double crochets here to make it 3, and then I'm going to skip to the next chain 1 gap, so which means I'm skipping 3 stitches, and in the 4th stitch, which happened to be the chain 1 gap, I'm going to go in there and complete. First we do 3 double crochets, so 2 and 3, and then I want to do a corner. So to do a corner, I'm going to chain 1 and then do 3 more double crochets into that same chain 1 gap. So this is how you create a corner. So 2 and 3, okay, like this. And then I'm going to skip these 3 stitches, and in the next stitch, which is the chain 1 gap, I'm going to go into it, and I'm going to do the same, which is completing a corner, meaning I do 3 double crochets like so, chain 1, and then go ahead and complete 3 more double crochets into the same chain 1 gap. Okay, so this is our second corner that is completed. Okay, and then I do that, repeat that again. So I just skip these stitches here, and in the next chain 1 gap, I go ahead and do another corner, and this is going to be my 3rd corner that is completed. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. Okay, and then I have my 4th corner to finish, because we need to do a square, and to do a square you have to make sure you have your 4 corners. And because at the beginning I only did 3 double crochets, I need to complete that corner there. So I'm going to go ahead and into that same gap, I'm going to complete the remaining 3 double crochets. Okay, so again I skip these 3 stitches here, and into that chain 1 gap where these 3 double crochets are already in, I'm going to do the remaining 3. So just go ahead and do 3 double crochets right there, just like that, 2 and 3. And then to make sure I complete it, I have to do a chain 1, just like we have done in these other 3 corners. I chain 1, And then for this, because it's the end of the row, I'm going to slip stitch on top of the chain 2, just like this. Okay, so as you can see, that's my second row completed. And as you can see, I have my corners here. Okay, so that's the end of our second row. So what I do here, just so you kind of understand, maybe that will help you do however many rows you need. So what I do at first is I take my tape measure, because I need to know how wide I want to do my my cropped sweater. So what I do is I just measure the widest part of my bust, okay, so my chest, and then whatever that number is, it comes together. Let's say you go and measure it around and it comes to 20. So let's say it's 20 inches, tiny obviously, because I just want to be able to show you. So let's say the your circumference of the widest part of your bust is 20 inches. So what you do is, first of all, this is if you do it tight, if you put it around without any looseness, too much looseness to it. But because it's a loose sweater, I'm probably going to add, let's say, another 10 inches to it. So instead of doing 20 inches, I would do 30 inches around. So what I do then is I determine how many panels I have in the front and how many panels I have in the back. And so in this one here, I have to divide it by 15. So my front panels will have to come up to 15 inches altogether, the two of them. And this is not my true sizing. I'm just giving you guys an example. So what I will do here, for example, for me, I have measured. I want to have, it's about 30, mine is about 30 inches around, but I'm going to add an extra 10 inches to make it 40. So each, and that will give me 2 panels for the front and 2 panels for the back. And therefore, each panel have to be 10 inches, okay? So 10 inches for the front, that makes it 20. And then 10 inches for the back, that makes it another 20. So altogether, I'm looking for 40 inches in the circumference of my sweater, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do my third row. So I just do a chain of 2 again, and in here I'm going to go ahead and do my 2 double crochets, because the chain 2 counts as a double crochet. And then now here, it's not a corner, as you can see, this is just the middle here. We're going to go ahead and complete just a regular cluster of 3 double crochets. So just do your granny stitch there. And then we're going to move to the corner now. So we're skipping these 3 stitches, and into that chain 1 spot, which is the corner, we're going to create a corner. And every time you create a corner, you do 3 double crochets, and then chain 1 and 3 double crochets into the same stitch, or under the same stitch, and then that makes it a corner, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and do that again and again and again. Okay, so this is my first corner that is completed here. The first corner, we always finish it as we finish the row. So, and then in this area here, there's no stitch or anything. You just go between this gap that is created by skipping these 3 double crochets. And you will do your 3 double crochets there. And then you will go ahead into the corner now and do a corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, okay? Chain 1 and then 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to move over to this area here and just complete a regular 3 double crochets, because it's not a corner. So you don't have to do a corner, just do your 3 double crochets into that gap. And then now we're in the corner again, and then we're going to go ahead and do a corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, okay? So obviously I'm explaining this in detail just because I don't know that whoever is watching this at this very moment have been on my channel before. I have obviously done projects with this stitch, especially with a granny square, but if you are new here, I don't expect that you would know, unless you're an advanced or somebody who knows how to crochet already, then maybe you will be able to know what I'm doing here. So I do every project like I'm explaining it to somebody who is a beginner, because I like to gear my channel more towards beginners, or at least that it's beginner friendly, so that beginners can actually follow along as well and be able to make things. So I don't skip steps too much, or at least I try to avoid skipping steps, especially if it's something new that I need to explain. Okay. All right, so now I'm in the corner, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my remaining 3 double crochets for the corner so that we can finish our 3rd row here. So chain 1 and then slip stitch on top of the chain 2, just like that. Okay, so that is the 3rd row completed. So what I will do, I think the 10 inches for this panel will probably bring me to, let's say I will do 4 inches, 4 rows in each of the colors. So I'll do 4 rows in the off-white, 4 rows in the light blue, and then 4 rows in the navy blue. And I think that should bring me to approximately the 10 inches that I'm looking for, okay? So go ahead and finish the 4th row here. So you just do by starting your chain 2 and then completing your first 3 double crochets here, and then because this is the 3rd row, you're going to do 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here before you get to the corner. And then when you get to this side, you do 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here before you complete a corner, and you repeat that until you come back to here. So do the same. When you have done that, come back to the video and I will show you how to change the color to the light blue one, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed my 4th row here, which is also the end of this color. Okay, I'm going to stop it at this here, and then I'm going to change it to the baby blue or the blue color. Okay, so again here, it's up to you. You can do this if you're doing it in one solid color and you know your measurements of how many inches you want per square, then you're going to just work it with the same color until you get to that size. And if you are changing it, let's say to 2 colors, and let's say you want to have, let's say 12 rows is total, what gives you 10 inches, which is in my case, that's the case, then what I will do, or what you would do, is just divide that in 2, or just kind of put the colors in whatever order that you want. Okay, so I have my blue color here ready to go, but what I will do here is I will do a chain 1 because this is what creates a corner here in the white. And then on top of this chain 2 that we created at the beginning of the row, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to bring it through instead of doing a slip stitch, which would have made me go through all across here. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to leave it like this for here. And I'm going to actually change the color by just cutting the off-white off here. So I'm just going to cut it there. Okay, and just put my scissors away. I'm going to put the white color away. And I'm going to bring in the blue color. Okay, so to bring in the blue color, this is how I change colors. You can obviously change the color however you usually do it, but I'm going to change it like this. So so you see, this is what I cut here. What I do often is I just take this and I tuck it to my right hand side so I can hold it here like this, and that way I can control the tension of it. And then while I have that there, I bring the new color in. I just hold it like this, and then I just kind of loop in, do a slip stitch like this. So I complete these here with the different color. And then for these, I just kind of pull them a little bit. As you can see, there are 2 like in the back. I just kind of wiggle it a little bit, make it nice and neat. And then I'm going to do chain 2, and then I'm going to start my row with this blue. So again, our chain 2 counts as a double crochet, and I'm going to go into this gap here to complete the other 2 double crochets to make it half the corner completed. Okay, as you know, we're completing the square, this corner, when we come back around. Okay, so that's 3. So that's done. Then I'm going to go into this gap here and complete my 3 double crochets. Just like this. And then I'm going to go into the next here. So again, we're just skipping 3 stitches, and then we're going into the gap. So it's not a stitch at all. It's a gap that's created from us going from this here to here. There's the 3 stitches we skip. It creates this gap here automatically. So we don't go in the next gap. In the next stitch, I go in the next gap because there's no stitch that we're going into beside. We're going under the gap that is there from the previous row. So we do this for 1, 2, 3, and then it brings us to the corner. And in the corner, we're going to just do exactly what we did in the last 4 rows, which is do your 3 double crochets into the corner, chain 1, and then complete 3 more double crochets. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. And then we move on to doing 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here. and then a corner, then 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, a corner. So in this case here, we don't actually do anything different from what we did in the previous rows here. So instead of showing you how to do these all over again, I'm just going to explain it quickly. So like I said, again, you're just going to go now here and do 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets into this chain 1 gap, and then repeat here and repeat here. And when it comes to here, nothing is different. This is now secured. When you do your 3 double crochets here, you will then do a chain 1 and then slip stitch on top of this chain 2 here, and then start your next row. And for me, for example, I'm going to do 4 rows in this blue color before I go ahead and change it to the navy blue, and then complete 4 more rows in that. Okay, so but for now, I'm going to do 4 rows in this blue. So do the same if you have changed colors, and then see you when you get to the, in this case, it will be the end of the 8th row. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have just completed my 8th row here. So I have 4 rows in the light blue here. So as you can see, this is what I have so far. I have already cut the yarn off the blue, and I left it just like this. I've already done my chain 1, and then I just kind of slip stitch on top of the chain 2, and then I have not completed the slip stitch because we need to change the color here. Okay, so but I just wanted to show you guys that I have completed the 8th row. So if we do just a little bit of the measurements here, so I use inches every time I measure. So I already have 6.5, almost 7, like 6 3/4 in this. Okay, so I need to get to 10. So I will do my remaining 4 rows in the navy blue, okay, which is this color here, and then that should bring me to about 10 inches, and that's how much I want to do for one square like this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just show you how to change the color quickly, and then I will have you guys work up the remaining 4 rows, and then we will move on from there. Okay, so again, just like we did the white, like when we changed it here, I'm just gonna take this and hold it on my right hand side, just here like this, and then I'll bring in my navy blue color, just loop it in and go through the 2 loops like this, and then chain 2. Then while you're here, just kind of wiggle this down a little bit just to make it tighter so that it's not too loose here. Okay, and then as I'm still holding this, I will go ahead and complete my 2 extra double crochets here to make it 3 with my chain 2 that I just did, just like that. Okay, so now this is done. I can let go of this. Then I'm going to go ahead and do 3 double crochets here. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that in the next gap. So this is where we're skipping 3 double crochets every time. The 3 double crochets just happen to be the 3 stitches happen to be the 3 double crochets from the previous row, and then we happen to go into the gap that is not a stitch, but it's a gap that is created from us skipping 3 stitches from previous row. Okay, so again, we just go down, you just go down around your corner, like your square here, to get to the corner, and you just complete your regular 3 double crochets, skip 3 double crochets, go to the next gap and do 3 double crochets, skip 3, do 3 double crochets, and you just continue like that to the corner. Okay, so again, I'm not gonna explain, or I'm not gonna go towards completing this with you all around, just because you're repeating exactly what you have done in the last 8, at least 6 to 7 rows, because the first row is always different. Okay, so I will just quickly finish this corner here, and then I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing, and then I will have you guys finish the remaining number of rows before we finish this panel. Okay, so again, I do 3 double crochets for the corner, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so again, I like this color combination a lot. I like that we progress from the light to the dark like this. I think this is really cool. I kind of debated doing the blue, navy blue, and then the light blue, and then the white on the edge, but I think it has the same effect. Like, it's just the order of it like this is super cool, even if you're to reverse the colors and do the exact opposite. Okay, so anyways, so again, I just complete my corner here, and then I'm going to do 3 double crochets, 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 corner, and then repeat, corner, repeat, and then complete your corner here. and then chain 1, slip stitch on top of the chain 2, and start again and do that 4 times. In my case, for my size, I'm going to do it 4 more times. You're going to do that however many more times you need to get the number of inches that you want for each of the panels, because we're doing 2 panels. I'm doing 2 panels for the front, and I'm doing 2 panels for the back for now, because we still need to do the sleeves as well. Okay, so and like I said, I want each of my panels to be about 10 inches because I want 20 inches for the front. So this is how much the front of the 2 panels put together would be giving me 20 inches, and the exact opposite in the back is going to be the exact same amount. Okay, so go ahead and complete this. I'm going to go ahead and complete mine, and when I have my 12th row completed, I'll come back to the video, and then we will go ahead and talk about what the next step is. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my 4 rows in the navy blue. So as you can see, that's the square I have here, so it's completed. I have just reached the end of the 12th row here, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a chain 1 and then slip stitch right on top of that chain 2 just to finish this row off. And I'm gonna cut my yarn here, and then I will talk about how many we need to do and things like that. Okay, so I'll cut these up here, and then I will just go ahead and do a chain 1 and do a slip stitch like that. Okay, so again, this finishes the first square that we have done, and as you know, I wanted this to be 10 inches, and it happened to be, I think it is 10 inches, but let's see. Yeah, so it's just a tiny bit over 10 inches, just a tad bit. So it's about 10.5 inches. That's not a problem at all. I don't mind, because this is the panels for the body, so it could just be slightly bigger than it's supposed to be, and it's not a problem at all. So this is what I have: 12 rows, 4 rows each, and it's about 10.5 inches. Okay, so this is it here. It's done. I'm gonna leave it like this. We're gonna talk about just weaving all of these, you know, cutting them in, cutting them out after. But so I need to just explain to you a little bit here. So I'm gonna do 4 of this for the body of the crop top sweater. So I do 2 for the front and then 2 for the back. So in that case, I need to repeat these 3 more times to have my 4 panels, which is the body panels. I'm going to try to do the exact same thing for the sleeve as well, because all I would need to do is do the sleeves, and I would like my sleeves to be maybe a little bit wider than this, and if I want them wider, maybe I'll do a second one so that it's a really big wide sleeves. I'm not sure yet, but what I will do is, for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other 3. When I have them all ready, I will come back to the video, and then I will talk a little bit about how to do the sleeves. Okay, so go ahead and do 3 more like this, and then come back when you have 4 of them total. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed 4 squares here. So as you can see, these are all the 4 of them that I've completed, and these are going to make up the body of our crop sweater. Okay, so again, the sizes are obviously going to be different, and for those of you who often ask me what size it is, I wear between small to medium size. And sometimes I do some things a little bit oversized than my size. So I may make things in a large just because I want to wear it a little bit bigger, or I may do things in a small so that I can wear them a little bit more tight. So it all depends. I don't actually do things based on size. I do them based on measurements. So I measure, and that's how I determine what size it is. But yeah, so I have my 4 panels here. And these are going to make about, let's say, a medium crop sweater that is on the loose side. Okay, so I put my 2 on the side just so I can explain how this will work. So again, we have, let's just put it like this. So we will have 2 panels that we will join like this to make the front. Okay, so this is, let's say, the front of the crop sweater. So it means we're gonna join it here, and then we're gonna have the second here is going to be one that makes the back exactly the same way. Okay, so at the end of it, we're going to join the back one, the front one, and then this is kind of the body of it, and then this is where we're gonna do the sleeve. Okay, and then we will come up with our neckline here, whatever that's gonna be. We're gonna do a neckline, and the neckline, we can make it as wide as we want or as narrow as we want, and then we will see, we will do like some kind of bordering for the neckline. Okay, now for the sleeves, I think what I will do is I will do the sleeves about the same. I will do them the same as the body panels. So I will add 2 more for each sleeve. Sorry, 4 more for each sleeve because I'm going to make them big like this. So let's say there's 2 of them like this. I will join them here and here so that this is my sleeve like this, quite wide. And I'm going to do that twice. So I'm going to have one that is obviously lower here and then one on top of my arm. So I'm going to do 4 panels for each sleeve. So in other words, I will do 4 and 4, that makes it 8. And then I have the 4 for the front, and that's going to make it 12. Okay, so altogether I'm going to do panels, 8 more panels, just exactly like this. So I'm going to end up with 12 exact same panels. Okay, so without going any further, I'm going to go ahead and complete those. And then when I have all 12 of them, I will come back and we'll talk about joining the body first and then how we're going to join in the sleeves. Okay, so I will see you guys when you have your 8 panels or 12 panel total, but 8 extra after these ones. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have done all the extra panels here. And as you can see, I have 12 altogether. I have a ton of them here that we need for both the body of our crop sweater as well as the sleeves. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so we have all 12 of them here. Now it's just a matter of joining everything together. Okay, so what I will do is I will take 4 because we need 4 for the body of our sweater, and the rest I will put on the side. Okay, and for the body, we're gonna arrange them so we can join them. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna place them down so that exactly how we're gonna put them on, or how we're gonna join them together. Now, for those of you, I neglected to say this at some point of the video before this clip, but for the sleeve, the way you make them is you just measure your sleeve. What I do is I measure it from my wrist here at the very beginning of my wrist, and I go underneath my armpit. So I go right to where it touches my armpit, and that is the amount, the length that I want. Okay, so this is the length of my sleeve here. It's gonna be on the loose side because it goes from here all the way to under my armpit, and because the body of the sweater is also looser, so it's gonna push the sleeve a little bit out, but it's okay. That's how I want it. I want it to be really loose looking, but I do about 20 from underneath my armpit to all the way to my wrist here, and this is why I do 4 total on each side, because one goes here, one goes here, and then the opposite side of the arm, it takes the other 2. Okay, all right, so that's how I measure. So you will be able to do that when you need to do the sleeve parts of the sweater. Now, to join them, as you can see, this is the nice part. So we're gonna call this the outside of the sweater eventually when it's completed. And then we're gonna say that this is the outside, because as you can see, this is looking a little bit rough. When you look at them side by side like this, you can see that this is a lot cleaner than this. Okay, so what I will do is I will join them, but I'm going to join them on the side that's going to end up being the inside. So in other words, this is how I'm going to join them. This is the outside, and then this is the outside. So I'm going to join them like this. Okay, so they're going to be joined like this. So which means I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to flip it like this. So which means I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pull them up like this, and then just make sure I line them up nice and even here. And then I'm going to join all the way here. And the way I do that as well is I take my darning needle. And I'm going to join using the blue because that's the last color that I had here. And I'm going to bring in my darning needle. And I'm going to bring that, put the yarn into the darning needle here. Voila. And then I'm just going to take as much as possible because I'm going to need to use it for the other pieces as well. Okay, and now that I have my darning needle all nicely prepared here, this is my work. This is gonna be the outside or the inside of my work. So I join it on this side so that when I flip it to the good side. So in this corner here, we're gonna need to start right at each corner of the sweater here. So I'm just going to go right into that corner and then grab the opposite corner, go through with my darning needle. And then when I get to here, I'm going to do a knot so that this doesn't come apart. Okay, so I'm going to knot it nice here. 1 and 2 for now. You can always do more if you want, but I do 2 for now. And then from here to there, you're just going to go ahead and grab the 2 loops that are next here and then line it up with the other side like that, and then bring it through. Now for the joining, you can absolutely join with any style that you prefer, because I know there's different techniques that you can join with. So whatever technique you find easy, that you find look nice looking, whatever the case is, go ahead, join using that technique. I use this technique here. I don't even know what it's called, but I know it's the only technique that I use most of the time. Okay, so all you're doing here is you're just lining stitches. It should be lined up very equally, because you have even number of or you have an equal number of stitches, so you should not worry about maybe some stitches missing the matchup. Okay, and also when you're doing this, try not to pull too hard, because you don't want this to wrinkle up. So you just do it enough that it's not too, you're not pulling it too hard, but you're not also letting it too loose. Just enough that it keeps your work nice and loose, but not too loose. Okay, and not too tight either. So we're gonna just do this all the way to the end. So I'm gonna have you guys do the same. Just join your work all the way here to this end, to the very corner. So your last stitch will go in this corner here and goes into the corner of the opposite side, just like this. And then when you've done that, come back to the video and I will show you what to do next. Okay, my lovelies, so I have joined my work all the way here. So again, like as you can see, this is my middle. I just completed that, and I'm gonna go ahead and just do the middle here one more time. But this second time, I'm gonna loop the yarn around like this. To this kind of simulates when you do a slip stitch or when you do a chain 1 and then close it off. Okay, just to secure this section here. And then what I will do is I will take my scissors, just cut it somewhere here. And then I have this to do the second panel. Okay, so I'm going to put these away, but just so you can see, this is pretty much how this first one looks. So this is how we joined it. This is the joining here. This is going to be the outside. So this is when you have these on, this is the middle. This is how the middle is going to look. And that is the opposite side, which is going to be the inside of our sweater. Okay, so this one panel is completed. So I'm going to go ahead and put these away. And what I will do is I will repeat the same exact thing with the second panel, which is going to be the back or the front panel, whichever one, just because I haven't decided which one is going to be the back, which one is going to be the front yet, but they're exactly the same, so it's not going to matter too much. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other one, and I'm just going to fold it like this. Again, making sure these 2 sides that are facing outside on each side are the exact same sides, and that way you don't mess up how it's going to look. Okay, and then again, I just take my darning needle and I go into the middle, which is the chain 1 section to create the corner. I'm going to bring that through and then just again do the knot. Okay, I'm not going to show you guys how to do this as well, because you just do it exactly the same way as you did the other one. So but for this, I'm just gonna finish it all the way here and then come back when I have this completed as well, and then I will show you how to join that and then eventually how we join the sleeves to it. Okay, so go ahead and join it and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed my second one here. So now we have our 2 panels completed for the body. So this is how I'm gonna end up putting them together. Okay, so as you can see, again, this is the body, and I just realized I'm gonna join the sleeves exactly the same. So what I will do is I will join the sleeves exactly the same like this. For example, I need 4 like this for each sleeve, so which means I will join them exactly like this, except for each I will join straight like this, straight down like this to close them, and then this part here will connect to the body. Okay, but we're gonna join everything into one long piece because it's gonna just go all the way from here to the other side, all the way to the other side. And then for the neckline, we will just get the neckline going like this. Okay, so what I mean by that is I just do the exact same thing I just did for the body for each of the sleeves, and then we will join them together. So let me just get them. Okay, so for example, I will join 2 like this, just like we did these ones. I will join 2 like this, and then another 2 on top of them eventually like this, and then this is one sleeve. Okay, so this is it's gonna be open here, so it's just gonna have my sleeve go through from here to here, my arm. Then I'll do the second one. So at the end of it, I will have this piece, the second one, and then the body, and then this side here, after this is joined, that's gonna go here. That's gonna go here for the sleeve to connect to the body. The other one will go here to connect to the body, and then after that, the only thing that I will need to do is section out the neckline and then the bottom part of it here. Okay, so but for now, I'm gonna join this pretty much how I joined those 2, and then join the 4 pieces together like this. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, my lovelies, so I just wanted to show you how I joined at least the back or the front part here. So obviously we had 2 panels like this that are going to be for the body, which I did join them at first, but then I wanted to figure out how to join the sleeves. So I decided to just connect the sleeves right to it directly here. So these 2 panels here are for the sleeve. These 2 panels here are the middle, which is the body. And then these last panels here on the left side are the sleeves for the left side. Okay, so as you can see, it's just one long piece. So I did this, and I'm gonna do the second one, and then when I have 2 of them together, what I'm gonna do is then I'm gonna decide where the neckline goes. So I'll determine that here. I'll put some stitch markers on it, and then to the back to the front will just be joined all the way straight down here, all the way straight down in the bottom, the opposite side the same way. And then that's pretty much how we're going to be joining the 2 panels. Okay, so for now, just join 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels to each other as a long piece like this. Make sure you're paying attention to the fact that you want the sides that have all the little strings hanging to be on one side, and one side to have the clean side. Okay, so do that, and then come back to the video when you have just 2 long pieces like this, and then we'll talk about where we section out our neckline and things like that. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed the 2 long pieces here. So just like I explained in the previous clip, so as you can see, it's a little bit big to show on a long table, in a small table like this, but it goes all the way here. So like, again, these 2 here are my sleeves, and then I have my body in the middle, and then I have the other 2 here that are the sleeves as well. Okay, so what I have done is I've placed them so the back is facing each other. So the back of that panel is facing up, and then the back panel of this one, the back of this front panel is facing down, so that I can work by joining them properly. And actually, I made a mistake. I need to flip them and work with them on the opposite side. So before I get started, I will do that. The other thing that I did as well is I put my stitch markers here for the neckline. So this is the neckline that I've left out so far here. Let me see how many inches that is. This can always be adjusted, but I often end up starting wider, and then I can adjust by closing it in a little bit more. So it's about 14 inches. So the neckline here is 14 inches. So I put the stitch marker here, put the stitch marker here, and then in the bottom, I pretty much put the stitch marker all the way where I just have the 2 panels here sectioned in. So at the end of these 2, the second panel, and the end of this second panel. And so what I'm gonna do then is I'm going to start by joining my work from here and going all the way on top, all the way to the here. And then in the bottom, I will go from the stitch marker, go all the way to here, and this is gonna be the bottom part of my sweater. And then I'll repeat the exact same thing on the other side. So go from here all the way to the tip here, and then go from here to the tip. So that's what I'm gonna do. Again, I'm gonna do it offline, so you can go ahead and do the same. When you have completed the whole thing, come back to the video, and then we will see what to do next. We may do a little bit of a bordering in the neckline here, and maybe something a little bit in the bottom here. Okay, but for now, just complete the sewing, joining the 2 panels together. When you have everything joined, come back to the video, and we will move on together. Okay, my lovelies, so I have joined my top here. So as you can see, this is the sleeve. I've also flipped it in the right way out, so because I joined it on the other side, And then when I finished, I flipped it just so I can work now from the outside or the right side. And this is pretty much how it looks like. The project is quite big, so it's very difficult to move it around the work table here. But yeah, so this is pretty much my neckline right here. And then this is the bottom where my body comes out. And then this is the other sleeve that comes all the way here, okay? So it's not done yet. There's a few things that we're gonna do. So the first is gonna be, we're gonna work the neckline for a couple of rows here. I'm gonna continue with this navy blue. So we're gonna go ahead and just do a row of double crochet around so we can set ourselves up for the back post, front post double crochets, okay? So I'm just preparing my yarn here. I wanna make sure I'm in the center so you guys can see. And I have my yarn and I'm just gonna do a slip knot. Okay, so just like this, so I can begin, okay? It's like that for now. And what I will do is I will start with one of the corners. So it could either be this corner or this corner here. So I will start here and I'm just gonna put my hook right here. And then I'll bring my loop through just like this. And then I'm going to just pull it a little bit so it's a little bit tight. And I'm going to do a chain of 2. So 1, 2, which does count as a double crochet. And then in the same stitch here, I'm gonna go in and do another double crochet just because the space here is a little bit gappy. Okay, let's hold this over. Okay, like that. And I'm just gonna go in here and complete my next double crochet. And then I'm gonna go into the gap right here and complete a double crochet. So as you can see, there's no actual stitches here, but as I go this way, there's stitches. So I'm just gonna go right into this gap here and I'm gonna complete a double crochet. And I'll do a double crochet on each stitch from this point on all the way around so that we can set ourselves up for the back post, front post double crochets. And to do that, okay, I just want you guys to work around here. When it comes to this middle section here, this is a stitch here, so you'll do a double crochet here, do one in the middle, and then skip right over to the other stitch here and do that. And then do it all around. You will repeat the same thing over on this side here, and then in the middle here, and then come back all the way to this section here. When you get here, come back to the video, and then I will show you the first row of the front post, back post double crochet. And then I will have you guys work that for both, for everything. So for the top, the sleeves, and the bottom, because we're gonna do the same thing in all of the four openings, okay? So go ahead and complete this and then come meet me back when you have completed this row of double crochets. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed doing my row of double crochet around the neckline here. And as you can see, I just came back to the beginning. So I will go ahead and slip stitch on top of that chain 2 that we began the row with, just like that. And then I'm gonna do a chain of 2, which counts as a double crochet. And then this is where I will start my front post, back post double crochets. So this stitch here is attached to this stitch. And so I'm gonna work my first front post right into this next stitch right here like this, okay? So this is how you do front post, back post. So this is a back post here. And then this is a front post like this. Every time you're working in the front, it's a front post. And when you work in the back, it's a back post, okay? So you're just gonna do this all the way around until you come back to this area here. So you're gonna come all the way to here. When you get here, come back to the video. I will show you how to start the second row, and could be our last one, but we will see. And also for you guys, it will be a preference of how you want that to look. If you want it to be a little bit more of this stitch, then you do that. If not, then you just do a few rows and then you stop. But for now, just meet me back at the beginning here so I can show you how to either start the next row or how to kind of finish it up, okay? So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and just completed my first row here of the front post, back post double crochet. Just so you can see, this is kind of how it looks like. These are really nice and wide neckline on how this is how I like it. For you, it may look a little bit different based on how large the neckline that you did was, but this is something that I like to be like this, so that sometimes I can have it off my shoulder, sometimes I can have it, you know, just like a kind of pulled a little bit down on my chest and things like that. Okay, so this is why it's wide like this for me. Obviously, like I said, for you it could be a little bit smaller or even larger depending on the style that you're looking for. So we're here now. So I just done my back post double crochet here. I have this stitch here to work into, so I'm going to go ahead and complete a front post double crochet on that like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and then slip stitch on top of this chain 2 here. So 1 2, so I'm just going to grab this part here like this and then slip stitch. Okay, so that way, so as you can see, this is a front post that looks like a back post here, even though it's not, and then it looks like a front post, back post, front post, back post. Now I've just looked at this really quickly here. I may do one more row, so what I will do then is I will just start by doing a chain 2, and then as you can see, this here is the next stitch we work into. I'm going to work a front post double crochet here because it kind of pushes out towards me, and then that one is going to be a back post double crochet, so I'll go ahead and complete a back post double crochet there, and then a front post double crochet right here, and then I will just continue to alternate these all the way around. And then I think this is going to be my last row for the neckline for now, and I'm going to pretty much repeat the same thing for the sleeves. So I'm going to do the same on each of the sleeves and then the bottom part of the sweater. But I have just one ball of yarn left, so I will probably after the neckline move to the bottom, because I would prioritize doing more to the bottom part of the sweater here than I do the sleeves, because the sleeves, if worse come to worse, I can just leave them like out like this. Okay, but for now I'm gonna finish this row. So this is my second row of the front post double crochet. First was the double crochet itself row, and then the second was this, and now I'm doing a third. And then when I finish, what I will do, instead of coming back to the video, I'm just gonna go ahead and work the bottom part. So all I will do is just, when I come to the end here, I will slip stitch and then just like cut off my yarn, and then I will switch the yarn over to the bottom, and I'm gonna get to do the same here. So just the first row would be for double crochet, and then do a few rows of the front post back post double crochet, and then when I finish that, depending on how much yarn I have left, I will do the same for the sleeves. And then when that's done, I will come back to show you guys how the whole thing looks like, because everything that we do now just looks exactly the same, so I don't have to come back and repeat showing you guys how to do it. It will be done just the same as we started off the neckline here. Okay, so go ahead and do that when you have completed bordering all of your the whole of your project. Then come back to the video, and then I will move on with you from there. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so we have completed this crop sweater here. So as you can see, so I left off when I showed you guys how to do the neckline here, which was pretty much to do the front post back post double crochets for the neckline. So I did 3 rows, I guess. The first row was of the double crochet, and then I did 2 more rows of the front post back post double crochet. So, and then what I did, just like I explained in the previous clip, was I went back and did the exact same thing for the bottom. And I tried this sweater on just right before I started the bottom, and it was a tiny bit short. It's like really croppy, as in like this is literally lining up right underneath my boob. So if I raise my hands and things like that, I would definitely expose whatever I have underneath, which obviously I would wear something with this, but you know what I'm talking about. So I decided to do a little bit more rows for the bottom here, and I think I did 1 2 3 4 5 6, so I did 6 rows in the bottom here, just to kind of lengthen it a little bit. And actually I stopped because I ran out of yarn. If I had more of this yarn, I would have probably continued to do it a little bit longer, but I think it looks extremely nice and cute like this. Okay, just like that. And so because of that, I ran out of yarn for the sleeves. So what I did with the little bit that I had left, I just did a row of double crochet around here, and I did a row of double crochet for the other sleeve, so that I could just make it a little bit nice and neat. So that's what I did. Okay, so just a little bit of, like, I guess a modification from what I said in the previous clip that we're gonna do, and that's how I did it. The other thing that I found I could have probably done a little bit better here is the sleeves are a little bit too long, but it's not a bad thing. Like, I'm doing this so I can wear it in like chilly you know, like days, you wear a shirt inside and then you put this on top. It's almost kind of like a warmer. So it's okay to keep it like that. So I'm not gonna make any changes to the length of the sleeves, but if I was to redo this again, I'll probably do the sleeves a little bit smaller, which would have probably made it so that it's not too long. But as you have seen in the pictures, it's a tiny bit too long. Okay, so this is it. I have weaved in all the ends, so everything is pretty much done. I hope you guys enjoyed making this granny square crop top with me, or crop sweater with me. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.